JSW Steel posted a strong third quarter numbers, came in way ahead of the estimates. Net sales jumped about 51% with its highest ever exports figure. EBITDA rose about 66%, while profit came in at 466 crore rupees. The company saw losses last year due to huge forex loss really coming in and exceptional hits. But to discuss the outlook further, joining me now is Seshagiri Rao, Joint Managing Director and Group CFO at JSW Steel. Mr. Rao, good morning. Thanks for taking the time out. You've mentioned that there's been an improvement in the operational efficiencies for the company. Can you highlight and give us instances of what's really been done on ground for this?
In Vijayanagar, what we have done is the blast furnace gases which were getting flared to the extent of almost 9 to 10%, we have reduced it to 1 to 2% by utilizing these gases to produce power, captive power. So we have modified our power plants, 2 power plants of 300 megawatts each, to use this blast furnace gas which was getting flared to produce power. So that has reduced the cost quite substantially. The second thing which we have done, the waste heat recovery boilers which we have commissioned in the Center 2, Center 3, Center 4. So that is able to generate steam by capturing the heat in these center plants. That also reduced the cost to the company. Similarly, in our Salem unit, we have commissioned our waste heat recovery boiler in the center plant. Then we also done several other measures both at Vijayanagar, Salem and Dolvi. All together reduced our cost quite substantially in the operations side. So this has made us to show improved performance in this quarter.
What would be your outlook currently as far as the global demand and even the pricing trends are concerned, especially at a time when there are such big concerns regarding China's growth in future?
Global demand as per World Steel Association in the year 2014, in the calendar year 2014, is expected to be incrementally 45 million tons. So this 45 million tons this time is met by way of a higher production from other countries than China. China is able to contribute only 20 million tons in this demand of overall 45 million tons. China is expected to produce particularly the growth rates are half of what they have achieved in the year 2013. The developed economies, the US, Europe, Japan, they are doing quite well. So the demand momentum will pick up in those countries driven by the energy, automobiles, construction sectors, residential construction, housing sectors. So that will drive the steel demand in these countries, which is good for the world economy and also overall global demand. So global demand for steel is expected to be better in 2014 relative to 2013, majorly driven by the developed economies. The rub-off effect on the emerging economies will bring more investments, and that will stimulate the steel demand in the emerging economies also relative to what we have seen, almost flat steel demand, particularly in India. So these factors will see 2014 a better year from the steel sector point of view relative to 2013.
Mr. Rao, yesterday we got the news that CESA will be auctioning iron ore from Karnataka very soon. Now, as more iron ore returns to the market in the coming months, how does the business really change for you and the industry?
Unfortunately, in India, there is an iron ore shortage across India, even though we have largest iron ore resource, almost 28 billion tons of resource we have, but the steel companies today are struggling for getting iron ore. There is a scarcity, huge amount of scarcity. In Karnataka, as against the requirement of 30 million tons of industry requirement, what is available is only 18 million tons. And there are certain dumps which are getting auctioned. They also will get over by June. So the net from July onwards, only 18 million tons of iron ore is available in Karnataka. If no further iron ore mining concessions get production. So therefore, from July onwards, we expect some of these mines today where they got the clearances for starting the operations, but some approvals are pending. They will be given in a time-bound manner, so they can resume production. And pending resumption of this mine, the existing mines which can operate at a higher level, they will be permitted to operate at a higher level. So all these factors taking into account, there will be a easing of iron ore supply subject to these mines get clearances and they start mining in Karnataka. If they are not taken from July onwards, the shortages situation will further aggravate in Karnataka.
Mr. Rai, we understand that you've submitted a bid for Stemcor's India assets. We also understand that Stemcor is actually currently not very happy with the kind of valuations and bids it's getting, barring one of your other competitive bidders. Will you look to revise your offer to Stemcor?
We have not received any communication. Yes, we have submitted the bid. Once we receive the response, then we will be able to analyze and then respond to that. But today I don't think we'll be able to comment when we have no formal communication from the sell side.
But was this a joint bid as was earlier intended by you, or did you bid just by yourself?
Even on that we don't want to comment right now.
All right, sir, we leave it there then. Thank you so much for joining us today with some perspective as far as the outlook for the industry itself is concerned. That's some word coming in from the JSW Steel management. Time for a quick check on the markets, and Priyanka standing by with the market movers.